Hello dear students, we are going to continue with the chapter Working of Institutions, and as discussed in the previous chapter, today we will be talking about the first institution. Basically we call it a parliament. The parliament has its own significance in a democracy. In all democracies, an assembly of elected representatives, they exercises supreme political authority on behalf of the people. In India, such a national assembly of elected representatives is called the parliament. At the state level, this is called the legislature or legislative assembly, which we like are the combination of Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad. And in our country, the parliament consists of two houses. So we will also talk in detail about the responsibilities and the jobs of these two houses, which we call them as Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Now children, if you can recall the example with which we started this chapter about the office memorandum, can you tell me that was there any role of the parliament? Now see, one by one, if I try to recall, we can relate that whether the parliament played any role or not. If you can think about it, that the report of Mandal Commission was discussed where? It was discussed with the cabinet of ministers. They discussed about it. The President of India even mentioned this in his one of the speech in the parliament. The Prime Minister also made an approach both in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha about this commission. Now the decision was not directly taken in the parliament, but parliamentary discussions on the report influenced and shaped the decisions of the government. They brought pressure on the government to act on Mandal Commission and its recommendation. If the parliament was not in favor of the decision, the government could not have gone ahead with it. Do you agree with it? Absolutely yes. Unless and until the cabinet of ministers, they give their consent or the president give his consent, it could not have been, taken forward. So why do we need a parliament? In all democracies, an assembly of elected representatives exercise supreme political authority on behalf of the people. At the state level, and in India, such a national assembly, as we just now said, of the elected representative is called the parliament. Now, what are the political authority the Indian parliament exercises? Parliament is the final authority for making laws in any country. Children, if you recall back in class 8, we have already studied in detail about how the bill gets generated and how it is passed in both the houses, and maximum people voting for it, the bill then gets passed on to the president, and after president gives his consent, it becomes a law. So this entire process happens inside the parliament. So parliament is the final authority for making laws in any country. This task of law making or legislation is so crucial that these assemblies are called legislatures. Parliaments all over the world can make new laws. They can even change the existing law. What is it called? It's called amendments, or abolish existing laws and make new ones in their place. So first point is parliament is the final authority for making law. What is the second political authority it exercises? Parliaments all over the world exercise some control over those who run the government. In some countries, like in India, this control is direct and full control. Those who run the government can take decisions only so long as they enjoy support of the parliament. Once they are out of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, they cannot take up the decisions. So the second thing is that the parliament control over the people who are related to the parliament. And the third one, parliament controls all the money that government have. In most countries, this money, the public money, can be spent only when the parliament sanctions it. So control of the money is by the parliament. And the last one is, parliament is the highest forum of discussions and debate on public issues and national policy in any country. So parliament can seek information about any matter also. So this way we can understand that how important the parliament is. In our next classes, we will talk in detail about the two houses of parliament, since the parliament plays a central role in the modern democracies, and most large countries divide the role and powers of the parliament in two parts, and they are called the chambers of the parts or chambers of the houses. So we have got upper house and lower house. The upper house is called Rajya Sabha and the lower house is called Lok Sabha. In our next class, we will be talking in detail about both the houses. Thank you so much, children. I'm concluding the class now. God bless you all.